Hello and welcome to Eagle News International Australia Oceania. I am Ian Lanetta from Sydney, bringing you stories from Australia, New Zealand and Papua New Guinea. These are the headlines. Australia approaches last stages of COVID-19 roadmap to recovery. War heroes in Australia honoured on Remembrance Day amidst COVID-19 pandemic. Year 11 students in Papua New Guinea extend helping hands to community. Papua New Guinea's National Museum and Art Gallery showcases traditional creative collection. Aspiring Filipino bakery thrives in Melbourne. Stay-at-home mom develops passion for home cooking and baking. And Victorian residents enjoy out-of-town travel after easing of restrictions. Here's our first story. Positive news welcomed by Australians as the country enters the last stages of the COVID-19 roadmap to recovery. More details from our correspondent in Townsville, Eliza Ventura. Eliza?
According to the Australian Department of Health, Australia has surpassed an approximate of 27,686 coronavirus cases. Roughly 90% of the total case has recovered from the disease. The majority of cases coming from Victoria, followed by New South Wales and Queensland. The rate of COVID infections have significantly reduced due to the implementations of restrictions. Social distancing, limits on social gatherings, and hand hygiene are in adherence. The state of Victoria has entered its third stage of easing of restrictions. Victorians are now allowed to have unlimited travel between metropolitan Melbourne and regional Victoria. The limitation of attendance in outdoor gatherings has now increased to a maximum of 10 people, where families can also enjoy recreational activities. Travellers and visitors from New South Wales are now allowed to enter Queensland with an approved border declaration pass. Additionally, the border between New South Wales and Victoria was reopened on November 3. The reopening of other borders is expected before the new year. Australia is now approaching the last stages of its roadmap to recovery. More restrictions are anticipated to be lifted before the year ends. Reporting from Townsville, Australia, this is Alyssa Ventura. Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Eliza. We look forward to more encouraging news very soon. Meanwhile, in Brisbane, Australia commemorates the annual Remembrance Day amidst COVID-19 restrictions. Virtual viewing was provided for citizens to unite in honouring those who served in Defence Front, past and present. Our Eagle News correspondent Raylene Rose Javier shares more. Raylene?
The commemoration of Australia's Remembrance Day saw an unprecedented way of conduct. Through government-mandated regulations, the annual Remembrance Day ceremony was observed by virtual viewers. At 11 a.m. on the 11th of November 1918, guns on the Western Front fell silent after 4 years of continuous battle. The Allied armies had driven the German invaders behind after being inflicted with heavy defeats upon them over the preceding 4 months. Subsequently, the Germans ordered an armistice to secure a peace settlement. This concluded the First World War. At 11 a.m. on November 11 of each year, Australia commemorates Remembrance Day. A minute's silence is tributed to those who in past and present served the defense front, remembering the millions of lives lost and suffered in the disputes, wars, and peacekeeping operations. At the heart of Brisbane's Anzac Square lays the display of the burning eternal flame, granting permanent recognition to the men and women who fought in service of the nation. This historical site was open to the public to hold their commemoration, adhering the COVID-safe regulations. After the concluding ceremony, the public had the opportunity to lay wreaths at the base of the shrine. The official Remembrance Day ceremony that was not open to the public could be viewed through online platforms, live streamed from the Shrine of Remembrance in Brisbane's Anzac Square. Members were able to view from the safety of their homes. Despite a change in this year's commemoration, the onset of the pandemic did compromise the nation's solidarity and commitment of Remembrance Day. Reporting from Brisbane, Australia, this is Raylin Xavier, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Raylene, for that inspiring report. Moving on to Papua New Guinea. 4 Year 11 students from Papua New Guinea set as an example when it comes to sharing kindness, as they partook in an outreach for the underprivileged community in Tokarara. Let's hear more from our Port Moresby correspondent, Echo Hortaleza Kinola. Echo?
When there's an opportunity to help other people and you have the means to do so, why not extend a helping hand? As the saying goes, sharing is caring.
Here in Papua New Guinea, several students from Port Moresby International School or POMIS made this happen by engaging in a community service at June Valley Village. Year 11 students Denise Guillermo, Yan Galicio, Charlene Molina, Niu Maida, and Shaika Patnaik distributed school supplies to various primary and secondary students who are part of the underprivileged community of Tokarara. This experience inspired them all the more to help their fellow students.
It's a good opportunity to use this program to give to the others.
Aside from donating school supplies, they further gained first-hand experience to serve the citizens of Port Moresby, especially children.
Giving small amounts of kindness to people who need it the most. It's a practice that I uphold. It's a good and give stationery stuff to the children, the local children. So I'm really grateful to this.
So what you learn in that these days, kindness and being and humanity, it's not a very common thing anymore. And so as a student, when you learn how to give things to others and learn how to be kind and generous, it helps you become a better person in the future, and it can help you with other professions. Say you want to look at the medical field or some humanitarian field, you get to learn to sympathize and contribute to a community as a whole.
I think this event is a good opportunity for us to go back to our roots, and it helps people, and it's a good opportunity for everyone to come together. And it's actually really, really good to see that despite what's going on around the world, that our faith in the Lord hasn't faltered.
This activity, albeit simple and short, emerged to be very meaningful. The outreach project made such a huge impact to the recipients, even more to the students who made a strong connection with their community. The recipients showed their appreciation by showcasing their dancing prowess as a symbol of gratitude. Such little acts of kindness truly go a long way.
In these times of crisis, extending our helping hands will truly cross boundaries and build stronger connection. Starting with the young generation will create core memories that will be cherished in their lifetime. Reporting from Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, Echo Hortaleza Quinola, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Echo. We hope to see more of the youth's participation in these programs. After the break, we will take a look at the National Museum and Art Gallery showcasing Papua New Guinea's traditional creative collection. Also, we will hear more about a new Filipino bakery in town thriving in Melbourne. Plus, a stay-at-home mom in Brisbane will share with us her growing appreciation and passion to home cooking and baking. Lastly, let's take a look around Warrnambool City as Victorian residents enjoy their out-of-town travel after a long period of lockdown. All these stories when Eagle News International Australia Oceania returns. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News International Australia Oceania. A visit to Papua New Guinea's National Museum and Art Gallery shows visitors its long-standing cultural history and contemporary heritage. Let's take a closer look with our correspondent, Echo Hortaleza Quinola. Echo?
To take a break from politics and news of coronavirus, let me show you some magnificent sculptures, carvings, and paintings from the 22 different provinces of Papua New Guinea. Join me as we explore the beauty of Papua New Guinea's National Museum and Art Gallery.
The National Museum and Art Gallery of Papua New Guinea is located at the National Capital District. Built in 1975, it opened to the public in 1977 and is still presently enjoyed by locals and tourists alike. The museum and art gallery is owned by the citizens of Papua New Guinea, showcasing a thriving collection of more than 6,000 pieces made by the country's natives. The National Museum and Art Gallery is also known as a hub for the cultural and contemporary heritage of Papua New Guinea. Visitors are always in awe as they witness the spectrum of creative work on display. A group of students were amazed as they toured this unique site and observed the intricate artwork. Among the items they viewed were the paintings of warriors, animal bones, the kundus, madman mask, mountain man, natural dye art, ancient map, and so much more.
I learned about carvings here, mainly on province, central, some from Sipig, mostly about Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, I learned about some new artifacts and more about Papua New Guinea culture. Learn about this because they would know what the ancestors and the great-grandfather or mothers were doing in the past times.
The exquisite beauty of Papua New Guinea's National Museum and Art Gallery is a must-see attraction. A visit here would surely pave the way to learn and understand the historically rich culture that comprises this nation. Reporting from Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, Echo Hortaleza Quinola, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Echo. This place indeed offers us more understanding of the nation's history. On to Melbourne. Eagle News correspondent Dwight Baloloy introduces us to the aspiring Filipino bakery thriving in the city, showcasing a variety of delicious goods. Take it away, Dwight.
Pandiwan is one of the newest Filipino bakery here in Melbourne who sells Filipino breads and pastries. We'll be catching up with Regan Wan, who is the owner and baker of Pandiwan.
Nag-start po kami ng business nung nasa Brisbane po kami way back 2010. Dumating po ako dito, nag-start po ako ng business sa Brisbane po. Gumagawa po ako ng tinapay doon. That time po, yung misis ko po kasi nag-aaral, and then para makasurvive po doon sa gastusin, naisipan ko pong gumawa ng tinapay. At yun po, yung pandihuan po yung dinala namin sa Brisbane. Nagtrabaho po ako sa hotel nung sa Pilipinas po ako. And then, nagtrabaho po sa cruise ship. So, nag-aaral din po ng HRM. After ko makatapos doon, nag-concentrate po ako sa baking and pastries po sa bakery, sa pastries. And then, yun po, yun na yung in-apply ko na sabi ko sa sarili ko na gusto kong gawin someday na makapag-negosyo. So, dati, wala pa akong plano. And then, nung na-enjoy kong gumawa ng mga tinapay, ganon, naisipan ko na mag-invest ng mga gamit. Actually, mga 9 years din bago ko natupad yung pangarap ko na magkaroon ng sarili kong bakery. Sa ngayon, sa bahay muna kami. Actually, hindi naman po mahirap. Pero kailangan mo talagang pag-ipunan, dahan-dahan, Dahil sa amin po, sa akin, talagang ilang years ko rin po na pinag-ipunan. So, ang ginagawa ko, gumagawa po ako ng tinapay. At kung ano po yung kinikita ko, tinatabi ko po yun. And then pa konti-konti, binibili ko po ng gamit. At yun, hanggang sa nakapundar po ako ng mga gamit ko na paggawa po ng tinapay. Yung sa restriction, mahirap po kasi lalo dito sa Australia, sa Melbourne, mayroon po tayong restriction na 5 kilometers lang po. Dapat hindi ka lalagpas dun sa 5 kilometers bago ka makapag-deliver ng mga ano. So, mahirap din. Pero sa awa ng Ama po, every time na gumagawa po kami ng tinapay, marami naman pong umu-order. Hindi namin alam kung saan po yun nanggagaling. At nagpapasalamat po kami.
Pan de Juan sells Filipino breads in the likes of various kinds of ensaymada, such as salted caramel, pan de coco, ube ensaymada, and also tuna pandesal and asado pandesal. So for Filipinos here in Melbourne who miss eating Filipino bread while drinking your very early morning coffee, why don't you check out Pan de Juan for Filipino breads and pastries. Reporting here in Melbourne, Australia, this is Dwight Aberbalaloy, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.
Thank you, Dwight, for introducing us to another new favorite Filipino bake shop. Meanwhile, in Brisbane, a stay-at-home mom shares with us her story of her newfound passion in home cooking and baking. Let's hear more details from our correspondent, Mia Macapagal. Mia?
The onset of the coronavirus pandemic led to many spending added time in their homes. Consequently, people are finding passions and interests to alleviate the stress of this virus. Anna, a stay-at-home mom, has furthermore sparked her interest in home cooking and baking. Anna Mako is an ex-flight attendant turned stay-at-home mom who found a passion for home cooking and baking.
It all started back home when I was in the Philippines. As you know, cooking is part of every culture, and I was very lucky to be surrounded by great cooks, my parents, my grandparents, my aunties.
She used this passion of hers to experiment on classic dishes in addition to her own masterpieces, a naturally formed talent that has brought her many followers on her home cooking journey. With over 1,000 followers on her Instagram page, Anna continues to astound her viewers with her home cooking.
Baking is a different story. It just started recently, around 5 years ago. I had my first baby, and I think it's part of the Filipino culture nowadays to have cakes every month until they reach their first birthday. And I said to myself, this is going to be very expensive, so why not bake for my daughter? And I really loved it. Since then, I did not stop.
Not only is Anna known for her scrumptious home-cooked meals, she is well renowned for her delicious purple yam desserts. Anna, in past, had various dishes for purchase. She gained a reputation for her pleased customers.
I am a very busy mama, so I used to sell to my friends and families my baked goods like ubi cupcakes, French macarons, and cakes. When there's like events, special events, a lot of learning to do. So hopefully one day when I have a chance where I can study, so I can open up my own cafe.
Anna's passion has certainly set her up for an endeavour worth following. She looks forward to seeing where this will take her in the future. Reporting from Brisbane, Australia, I'm Mia Makapagal, Eagle News, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Mia. That story adds more inspiration to would-be chefs out there. Finally, after the easing of restrictions in Victoria, out-of-town traveling is now an option for relaxation. Our Melbourne correspondent, Dwight Baloloy, is back to take us to the city of Warrnambool, highlighting some of the beautiful views everyone can look forward to. Lead the way, Dwight.
Now that Melbourne is out of its lockdown, residents can now travel further than 25 kilometers and visit the region of Victoria. So let me take you to the city of Warrnambool and let's explore the beauty of the city. Let's go! Warrnambool is a city in Victoria, approximately 250 kilometers away from Melbourne, and is known to be Victoria's largest coastal city outside Port Phillip. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, some of its tourist attractions such as Flagstaff Hill Maritime Village and other art galleries are closed for the meantime. However, will reopen to public in the coming days. Nevertheless, you could still enjoy the city with its amazing and breathtakingly natural attractions that will certainly make you revisit. Groups of friends and family can enjoy the Lake Perto and can head on to the Cannon Hill Lookout for a relaxing view of the city and its surrounding. There are also beaches such as the Lurgan Beach and the Stingray Bay Beach that can be enjoyed all summer long. Don't forget to visit Port Fairy, around 28 kilometers west of Warrnambool, known for its Griffith Island and also the world's most livable community. When you have the chance, ensure include Warrnambool in your list to visit here in Victoria, Australia. Reporting for Eagle News here in Warrnambool, Victoria, Australia, I am Dwight Aberpaloloy, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Dwight, for the fun little sneak peek of Warrnambool City. And that ends today's program. Thank you for watching Eagle News International Australia Oceania. Join us again next week as we share more stories from our bureaus across Australia, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. Visit our website on eaglenews.net and eaglenewslive.com. Follow us on twitter.com/eaglenews and on facebook.com/eaglenews. Stay safe, stay strong, and take care, everyone. From Sydney, Australia, I am Ian Lanetta, Eagle News. We live in interesting times.